Hello, hello, hello. I had a request for kind of a beginning to end music production video, and I'm going to do this for dubstep stuff. Maybe I won't do dubstep. A little tiny bit burnt out on dubstep, so I might do something a bit different. Just kind of a go over on the Acid Music Studio digital audio workstation, the basic stuff that you need to know about, and just, getting started. Alright? Now, the first thing you got here is your tools. The thing that I personally like about Acid software is that it's dead simple to use. Basically, you have a pencil tool here, which lets you go in and grab some loops, and see, just grab that, and then I can just draw in whatever I want. Or there's the paint tool that lets you draw in large chunks. There's an erase tool, and then there's the select tool. It lets you select stuff, of course. The envelope tool, which is pretty simple, lets you do stuff with the envelopes a little bit easier. It's a very, very simple program to use. Down here you've got your beats per minute. In this case it goes from 40 all the way up to 300. If you're doing dubstep, you're probably going to be working right around 140, maybe 136 to 142, maybe. Somewhere right in that area. Down here you've got your master bus and your master volume slider. Okay. You can pull this down a little bit. On loops and audio samples, you basically just have volume and center for pan, or left and right. It tells you what it is. This is where you can load in effects, muting, and then soloing out to hear different things. I don't use the record functions. I always use Audacity to record. If you want to do an MIDI track, it's simple enough. You just go ahead and do that. Let me pause this and select a synth to put in, which is real simple. You just click on here and then go Insert Soft Synth, and then it'll bring up a folder, and you just select the synth you want. Okay, I brought this up. It's a free piano synth called Forefront Piano Module, and it's a very simple synthesizer. If you know how to play keyboards, piano, it's a decent sounding one, and piano. And then you can come in and go to enable inline MIDI editing, which lets you piano, basic stuff. Okay, and then you got all this other stuff over here. It just does different things. Pitch bend that changes the pitch. It's all stuff. Most of the time I don't even use any of this stuff over here because a lot of the time the synthesizers have it all built into them, so you can change all the settings in the synthesizer and you don't even have to worry about anything over here. If you want to make that go away, which the processor likes you better if you do that, you can get away with more. Event clip, if you're using like the loop here, you can come up here and it tells you the original tempo. In this case it's 128 beats per minute. You can change the color if you want to color code things, like all your drum bits one color, all your synth bits one color, all your bass bits one color, all that sort of stuff. Clip properties, you can change things from loop, one shot, beat map. In this case, this is a loop because you can just keep it going as many times as you want. But if I did this and made it into a one shot, over, it would just go and then stop as soon as the sound was done instead of looping through again. Beat mapped is really only necessary for long tracks, like songs. If you're going to use this for DJing, you might want to beat map. I don't really use the beat map much because most of the bits of sound, like loops and audio samples, are either going to be looped and already acidized, which means they have their pitch and beats per minute information and all that in the loop file, the sound file. So it changes with, when you change the beats per minute, it changes and basically plays back normally. So most of that stuff I don't really worry about because I just kind of have a fast, loose way of doing things. Don't like messing around too much. And I mean, your basic functions on this program, like I said, it's very simple to use. That's one of the reasons I like it, as I said, or the main reason I like it and still use it. Other little things, if you're getting started on music production, you want to keep your meter over here on the master under 0. In fact, if you have any desire to ever have a track you make get professional mastering, you should probably keep it under -5. Okay? Anything over 0 clips, which means it's going to make bad noises with your speakers. That's just a limitation of digital audio work. Okay? But you really want to keep your master at about -4 to -5, preferably, for, just as I said, if you have any desire at some point to have a track mastered by professionals, they want headroom, which is that extra decibel room to mess around with the EQ, the equalization, the various frequency bands and stuff. So if you don't leave that headroom in there, most of them won't even work with the track, or if they go ahead and do it, it's not going to sound much better because you didn't leave them any room to do anything. They start by having to turn it down, which means they can't really do much anything at that point. So it's always a good idea to keep it around -5 or -4. Different companies that do mastering have different guidelines, but it's usually -4, -5 they want it at. And I mean, of course, you can always use effects or just raise the volume yourself or something, do real simple mastering stuff, which I can show you, that'll, give you something that you can put online that'll be kind of loud. But that kind of opens up a whole new can of worms, is what mastering should be for. In the fact that, you listen to old recordings compared to new recordings, or, new old songs compared to new songs, unless they've been remastered recently, there always seem to be a lot softer. And that's because back in the day, they didn't feel a need to have the song blaring at you constantly. This music is supposed to go up and down and have dips and valleys and mountains and, you know, peaks, and it's meant to move, not just be a continuous wall of sound hitting you, which is pretty much how they do mastering for everything these days. But as I said, that's a whole new different can of worms, and it's getting into debating about stuff, and I don't really want to go there. I'm just kind of trying to introduce you to music production. Okay, so I think that's really the basics of this particular workstation. Obviously, you're going to need to watch something else for the basics of the workstation, the program that you are using. But they all basically have the same elements, just in various ways. You know, they all have different nuance, different interfaces, but the basics are all the same. So on the next one, I'm going to start getting into actually how I produce a song, which I always start with beat. So thanks for watching. I'll see you on that next one. And this has been Ryan Acid Hits Murphy for Beginners Audio Music Production. Thanks for watching once again. I'll see you later. Bye.